you liked these clips that you saw. If you did, then you should read the Perfect World web novel and watch the anime. Now, if you did read the novel, you should still watch this video. You might find something you enjoy. I made this video to serve as an introduction to the Chinese web novel Perfect World. What is Perfect World? Perfect World is a Chinese fantasy novel written by this guy, Cheng Dong. It is a world filled with mythical beasts, endless ruins of bygone eras, celestial palaces, otherworldly landscapes that are intertwined together and seems to go on infinitely. Now, the story of Perfect World revolves around manipulated histories, looming conspiracy, so much so that the people of this world fundamentally misunderstood their own history and existence, and those that do know bits and pieces are conspiring together to oppress others. Now, the conspiracy is also a large driving factor on how our hero Shi Hao defied convention and ambition, the sacrifices he made, and ultimately how he discovered the truth of this world. Now, I'm not going too much into this. It's spoiler territory, so just read the novel. Now, the novel is highly rated on Qidian.com. Ever since its inception, it has received many accolades. I'm not going to translate all of that, but just know that the Chinese fanbase really loved the story. Now, let's talk about the story, characters, and the world. This isn't an isekai story, so there's no prior life knowledge to be used. Our hero Shi Hao is really just a kid born into a world of cultivation, where power reigns supreme. Now, normally being born with a special power is a great thing in a lot of anime or web novels, but in his case, it was actually the start of his tragic life, which drove his quest for power to take back what he had lost and protect the ones he loved. Now, as you read the story, you'll notice there are a lot of mythical creatures and legends in this story, and that's because the world intersects with all of its histories and mythical lands at the same time in this universe. So think you driving for a mile and all of a sudden you're in dinosaur land. One of the cool things about this world is that everyone has a chance to obtain power through an established path of cultivation, but our character Shi Hao defied these limitations. He transcended the conventional method, driven by his desire to protect his loved ones, and he forged his own path to the peak of cultivation. He taught his methods to his friends and loved ones, hoping they would become as strong as he is. So imagine if Justin Timberlake helped out his bandmates with their music career. How great would that be, right? One of the best parts of the story is seeing Shi Hao's journey through tragedy, perseverance, and discovery. He will discover what his home truly is, to the conspiracies of the upper realm, to what the world is really hiding from its own people. And every time he discovers a piece of the history, he discovers ways to become stronger. And the villains and monsters that he meets along the way are top tier. Now, as you get deeper into the novel, you'll realize how much our hero loves to eat, and his enemies are terrified of him because of it. It is one of the funniest parts of the novel. Shi Hao will literally fight anyone just to eat them. Now, if you haven't read the novel and haven't watched the anime, it's perfectly fine. The anime doesn't take anything away from the novel. If anything, it actually makes reading the novel a bit more meaningful, since you kind of get all the references and all the jokes from reading the novel. Luckily, the novel has been adapted into an anime for the Chinese audience, and it truly feels like a companion to the novel. It puts a voice and a face to the words we read, gives you an amazing visual representation of the exciting battles and grand scale of this fantasy world. I do have to be honest, the anime isn't perfect. They can't adapt every word on a page, but there is enough in the anime to give you that exciting feeling of wanting to see the next episode. And as for the issues, I'll talk about that in another video. But the novel is still exciting, like skipping work and forgetting dinner exciting. So, if you're ready to dive into the world of Perfect World, then check out the links in the description. If you're interested to learn more about Chinese anime, join my Discord. And don't forget to like and subscribe for future recommendations.